Friends, today we are going to discuss the multiple choice questions on uniform costing and interfirm comparison. So let us start with first question. It says when several firms start using the same costing principles, practices and methods, they are said to be following. See friends, question says when several firms means more than two firms start using the same costing principles, practices and methods, they are said to be following. Options are marginal costing, contract costing, standard costing and uniform costing. See friends, when several firms start using the same costing principle, practices and methods, we say that they are following the uniform costing. Right. So here option D is the right answer for first question. Let us move on the next question, and it says uniform costing is dash, and options are technique, principle, practice or system or method. So friends, see, uniform costing is neither technique of costing nor it is a method of costing, right? Basically, uniform costing is a practice or system where several firms start using the same costing techniques, principles, or methods, right? So here, to understand the concept of uniform costing properly, I would like to discuss about this concept, and will come to the further multiple choice questions after understanding the concept of uniform costing, right? So here, see friends, uniform costing, as I said, it is neither the technique of costing nor it is a method of costing, right? Or it is not principle also. So see, what this first sentence says. It says when several firms in an industry start using the same costing principles, methods and techniques, they are said to be following uniform costing, right? So as per this sentence, it is clear that when several firms means more than two firms in an industry, same industry, start using the same costing techniques, methods and principle, we say that the firms are following the uniform costing system or uniform costing practice, right? To understand the concept of uniform costing further, I would like to give here the example of cement industry. Okay, so see, we know that in industry there are several firms. So in cement industry, you can relate that in cement industry there are several firms, like there is Ambuja Cement, Ultratech Cement, Birla, Bangar Cement, right? So in cement industry there are various firms, several firms are there. When those firms start using the same method of costing, same techniques of costing, and they adopt the same principles of costing, then we can say that those firms in cement industry are practicing the uniform costing, right? So friends, here make it clear that it is neither the method of costing nor it is a technique of costing. It is simply a practice or system where two or more than two firms follow same costing principles, methods and techniques, right? I hope now the concept of uniform costing is clear. To understand the concept and its advantage, let us move on the next paragraph, and it says the basic idea behind uniform costing is that the different firms in an industry should adopt a common method of costing and apply uniformly the same principles and techniques for better cost comparison and common good. So the basic idea behind uniform costing is that the different firm or various firm in a same industry should adopt a common method of costing and techniques, so that that will benefit the firm and the society as well, right? How the uniform costing is going to benefit the firm and society, we are going to discuss about that in the further part of this slide. Okay, Let us move on the important facts about uniform costings. So first important fact about uniform costing is it is not a method of costing, and it is also not the technique of costing, right? So as I said, uniform costing is neither the method of costing nor it is a technique of costing. It is simply a system or practice. Next fact about uniform costing is that it is adopted by firms in an industry, right? So in an industry like we have taken the example of cement industry. So we know that in cement industry there are several firms. So in cement industry, the several firms can adopt the uniform costing. Similarly, in automobile industry, the several firms can adopt the uniform costing, right? So we know that in automobile industry there are firms like Tata Motors, Maruti Suzuki, Hyundai, right? So these are the firms in automobile industry. So those firms can adopt the uniform costing for their benefit, right? Third fact about the uniform costing is that it is the basis of interfirm comparison. See friends, here we are going to understand the two concepts, that uniform costing and interfirm comparison. See, interfirm comparison is basically a comparison of two or more firms in the same industry, and we know that we can compare the performance of two firms when they are following uniform costing, right? So third fact about uniform costing is that it is the basis of interfirm comparison. It means interfirm comparison is possible with uniform costing system only, right? So this is the factual information about uniform costing. Now I hope that this concept is clear for everyone. Further, I would like to discuss about the objective of uniform costing, that why firms in an industry follow or adopt this uniform costing system. So the first objective of uniform costing is to facilitate comparison. Okay, so if uniform costing system is followed, or if uniform costing practice is followed by several firms, then we can compare the performance of those firms, right? So first objective of uniform costing is to facilitate comparison. Next objective is to eliminate unhealthy competition. So we know that if several firms are working in same industry, so they compete with each other, right? So here, to understand the concept properly, we can take the example of telecommunication industry or telecom industry. So we know that in telecom industry there are now mainly three or four firms, like Jio is there, then Airtel and Vodafone Idea. So these three are the major telecom provider in India, and to attract the customers, to increase their business, they compete with each other, right? And sometimes it leads to the loss of the all firms in the industry. So to avoid that type of unhealthy competition amongst the firms in an industry, uniform costing is basically useful. So to eliminate unhealthy competition amongst the firms, the uniform costing is necessary. The next objective of uniform costing is to improve efficiency. See, if several firms in an industry adopts the practice of uniform costing, then it will lead to the better efficiency in all the firms, right? Because they are sharing information with each other and they are practicing the same costing methods and techniques, so it will lead to improve the efficiency in the organization, right? So this is the third objective. Now fourth objective says to get relevant data from the firms. Okay, so uniform cost, through uniform costing it is possible to get relevant data for the firm. Next objective is to reduce the cost. So see friends, the main objective of costing itself is to reduce the cost of production, and through uniform costing it is possible to reduce the cost. So this is one of the important objective of uniform costing. Next objective is to ensure standardization. So through uniform costing, we can ensure the standardization in an organization. See friends, I am discussing these objectives and advantage of uniform costing with you because with these points you can understand the concept of uniform costing properly, and you will able to answer the multiple choice questions which are asked on uniform costing, right? So I hope uh, you are understanding my intention here. So the next concept or title is about the essential requirements for the installation of uniform costing system. So to install or to have a uniform costing system in an industry, some requisites are there. So first requisite is to have cooperation and mutual trust amongst the firms. Without cooperation and mutual trust, uniform costing system and its implementation is not possible, right? Next requisite is the firms in the industry should be willing to share information. So we know that sometimes firms are not ready to share their information with other firms, right? But to have uniform costing system, it is necessary that firms are ready to share their information. Next requisite is related to mutual exchange of ideas, methods, use, or research, etc. So there should be the mutual exchange of ideas, methods, and research amongst the system, amongst the firms. Next point is related to bigger firms should take the lead to share their experience. So we know that uh, bigger firms or the firms which have large turnover as compared to small firms, they have some kind of advantage. So those big firms should take the lead in the uniform costing system. The next requisite says uniformity must be established with regard to several points. So there should be uniformity related to costing methods, techniques, and the uh, accounting of overheads and their treatment, allocation of overheads, right? Then methods of issuing materials. So uniformity can be there in several points or several areas, right? Next requisite says the size of the various units covered by uniform costing, and then production method, accounting method, principles, and procedures used. So in these areas there can be the uniformity, right? So these are the requisites for uniform costing system. And now let us discuss the next point, which is related to the advantages of uniform costing. So if the firm practice this system of uniform costing, then it leads to have comparison, or it facilitates the comparison between two or more firms, right? So the main advantage of uniform costing system is that it helps to compare the performance of two or more firms. The next point says helps to eliminate unhealthy competition, right? So we have discussed this point in the objective of uniform costing, that uniform costing helps to eliminate the unhealthy competition amongst the firms. The next is next advantage is mutual exchange of ideas, methods, use, research. So this benefits the firm in their performance. Next advantage says it helps to reduce labor turnover. See friends, it helps to reduce labor turnover. It means it helps to retain the employee. See, higher the labor turnover, higher is the cost. See friends, try to understand the concept of labor turnover. Labor turnover is basically the ratio of employees leaving the organization to the total number of employees of the organization. Let us take a situation that there is an organization where 1000 employees are working there. If out of 1000 employees, if 100 employees left that organization in 1 year, then labor turnover can be we can calculate the labor turnover as 100 divided by 1000, right? So the labor turnover will be 10, okay, multiplied by 100, so 10%. So if the labor turnover is high, then it shows that more and more employees are leaving the organization, right? So labor turnover should be minimum in the organization, and uniform costing helps to reduce this labor turnover, right? Because several firms in the same industry are using this uniform costing system, so they are aware about the remuneration paid to the employees and methods of costings and technique of costings, which leads to reduce the labor turnover. Next advantage of uniform costing is that it helps to improve efficiency, right? The next advantage is prices fixed on the basis of uniform costing are representative of the whole industry and thus are reliable, right? So the prices fixed through uniform costing are reliable. Next advantage is says that research and development benefit of bigger firms may be made available to the smaller firms. Right. Next advantage that it helps trade association in negotiating with the government for any assistance or concessions in the matters of taxation, export, subsidies, duties, and prices determination, etc. So basically, if the uniform costing system is there in an industry, then those firms can negotiate with government on various matters. Next advantage of uniform costing is that prices fixed on the basis of uniform costing are representative of the whole industry and thus are reliable. Next advantage is it helps the government in regulating the prices of essential commodities such as bread, sugar, cement, etc. So as we have discussed the example of cement industry where several firms are practicing the system of uniform costing, in that case government can control the prices of cement or various things related to that industry, right? So basically uniform costing helps government also. So along with this advantage, uniform costing has some disadvantage as well, like it can lead to the monopolistic situations and all these things, right? So now I hope that the concept of uniform costing is clear, and uh, the advantages and objective of the uniform costing system or uniform costing practice is clear for everyone, right? So now let us move on the important multiple choice questions here. So as we have already discussed that when several firms start using the same costing principles, practices and methods, they are said to be following uniform costing. So here option D is the right answer. Next question says uniform costing is basically practice or system. So here option C is the right answer. Let us move on the next question, and it asks us which of the following is are the advantage of uniform costing. So we have discussed that it facilitates comparison, it improves efficiency and ensures standardization in the organization. So here option D is the right answer. Let us move on the next question, and it says uniform costing is dash of interfirm comparisons. So we have discussed that uniform costing is basis of interfirm comparison. So without interfirm uniform costing system, interfirm comparison is not possible, right? So uniform costing is basis of interfirm comparison. So here option B is the right answer. Let us move on the next question, and it says dash is written document which may be in the form of booklet or bulletin containing the principles, methods and procedures for the assessment and control of cost. See friends, this document is related to uniform costing. So it is uniform cost manual. So uniform cost manual is a written document which may be in the form of booklet or bulletin containing the principles, methods and procedures. So as we have discussed that uniform costing is a system where several firm adopts the same methods of costing, same techniques of the costing and same principles of the costing, right? So this booklet is prepared before implementing the system of uniform costing or before following the system of uniform costing, which contains the information related to principles, methods and procedures for the assessment and control of cost. So here option D is the right answer. Let us move on the next question, and it says the system of uniform costing is suitable in which of the following situations. So as we have discussed a lot about uniform costing up till now, now this question says the system of uniform costing is suitable in which of the following situation it asks us. So first situation says if the company has several manufacturing units. Yes, if the same company has more than two manufacturing units, then the uniform costing is suitable for that firm, right? Let us take an example of any cement company like Ultratech Cement. So we know that Ultratech Cement company has several plants, so they can implement the uniform costing for the company because they have more than two manufacturing units. Next option says a number of firms in the same industry which has united through organization. Yes, so we have discussed that uniform costing system is suitable for firms which are there in a same industry, right? So here for question number 6, both A and option A and option B are the correct option. So here option C is the right answer for question number 6. Let us move on the next question, and it says the success of dash costing depends on mutual trust, cooperation and confidence. So success of uniform costings, right? So here option D is the right answer. So the success of uniform costing depends on mutual trust. So we have discussed that in requisite of uniform costing, the cooperation and mutual trust amongst the firm is necessary, right? So here option D is the right answer. Next question says the system of uniform costing was first introduced in. So it is direct questions, friends. See, the system of uniform costing was first introduced in USA. So here option B is the right answer. Let us move on the next question, and it says uniform costing helps to reduce dash turnover. So we have discussed that uniform costing helps to reduce the labor turnover. So here option C is the right answer. Next question says in which of the following areas uniformity can be achieved under uniform costing system. So the methods of pricing of material issues. Yes, methods of pricing of material issues in this area, the firm can have uniformity. See friends, methods of pricing of material issues are FIFO method, that is first in first out method, and LIFO method. These are the methods of pricing of materials issues. So the companies which are practicing the uniform costing can follow the same method for this purpose. Like if one firm is following FIFO method, then all other firms can follow the same method, okay, of pricing of material issues. Second area is methods of costing used to ascertain the cost. Yes, in this area also uniform costing can be applied. Next option C says classification of cost and their expected accounting treatments, right? So we know that in costing we have to classify the cost on various bases. So in uniform costing, the several firms can decide that we will classify the cost on this basis. So in all of these three areas, the uniformity can be achieved under the uniform costing system. So here option D is the right answer here, all of the above. Let us move on the next question, and it says which of the following is not the advantage of uniform costing. So which of the following is not the advantage? So first says it helps to fix the prices. Yes, this is the advantage of uniform costing. Then useful for management control. Yes, uniform costing is used for management control. Next option says easy to apply. See friends, application of uniform costing system is not easy. To practice a uniform costing system is not easy. So this is not the advantage of the uniform costing. Option D says avoids unhealthy competition. Yes, uniform costing helps to avoid the unhealthy competition amongst the firms. So here option C is the right option for this question, which asks us which of the following is not the advantage of uniform costing. So easy to apply, it is not easy to apply. So here option C is the right answer. Next question says which of the following is are the disadvantage of uniform costing. So this question is about the disadvantages. Which of the, so first option says unwillingness for supply of information. Yes, sometimes firms are not willing to supply their information, so this is disadvantage. It is expensive. Yes, uniform costing system is expensive. Then see, monopolistic conditions may arise. Yes, because of the uniform costing system, there is a possibility that a monopolistic condition may arise in a country, right? So all of these three are the disadvantages of uniform costing system. So here option D is the right answer. Let us move on the next question, and it asks us comparison of one organization with other organization in the same industry is called. So we have discussed this concept. It is known as interfirm comparison, right? Comparison of one organization with other organization in the same industry is a interfirm comparison. So here option B is the right answer. Let us move on the next question, and it says interfirm comparison is possible only when there is dash costing system. So we have discussed that interfirm comparison is possible only when there is uniform costing system. So here option C is the right answer, right? So friends, I hope the concept of uniform costing and interfirm comparison is clear for clear. If there is any doubt or question related to these questions, these concepts, you can ask me in the comment section. And friends, make sure that you subscribe our channel and like, share this video. Thank you. Thanks for watching.